You may have heard the phrase, start by adding value rather than asking for help when it comes to networking. If you're like me and many of the people who have commented on my videos in the past, your very first question is probably, well, what can I do to add value? I have nothing to offer. I need them to help me get a job. Well, you're in luck. I have 10 tips for you today on how you can begin to build and nurture your network. All of these tips are easy and require no experience and are things that you can do in person or online. Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Before we jump into my 10 ideas of ways that you could add value to nurture and build your network, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to hearing those 10 tips. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every week. So first and foremost, when it comes to networking, especially with people that you don't know and you've never had contact with before, it can feel really scary. But it's really not as difficult as you think. And remind yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? You can try some of these tips, see what work for you and what don't work for you. What's better is to try something and for it to not work than not try at all. Really, when it comes to building your network, the goal is to provide small layers of value over time to build a trusting relationship with this other person. Many people use platforms like LinkedIn to just reach out with their ask for help. However, that is not how networking works. Whenever I get an email or a LinkedIn message that is directly asking me to work with someone where we can have a meeting, or I know that they're trying to sell me something, I immediately delete it and move on. However, the messages or the comments that I receive that are somewhat along the lines of the pieces of advice I'm about to give you help me engage with them and actually trigger me to want to work with this person and engage with them rather than write them off and delete their message. So let's jump into it. 10 examples of ways that you could provide value to someone else to begin to build and nurture your network. My very first idea is to ask this person for advice, then take action and follow up with the other person about how that advice helped you and what it resulted in. So you want to be very specific and keep this ask for advice short. Should I do thing A or should I do thing B? They give you advice on what thing you should do. You move forward with it and then you can report back to them with how their advice helped you succeed or what results were achieved. Kind of along the same lines of asking for their advice, you could also share their advice. Share their advice with your friends, your family, your team, or your class, and then follow up with that person and let them know that you shared this advice and what results were achieved. How did it impact you or the other people that you shared this advice with? A third way that you can add value to someone and slowly build and nurture your network is to consistently engage with their content on social media. Now, this might be through social media sites like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube. If you consistently engage with their content, they will begin to recognize you. Now, when it comes to engaging with their content, this is so much more than just saying, great post, great video. It's actually describing how this was valuable to you, what impact it had on you. So one of the things you can do in addition to engaging with them on their social media channels is to write a valuable post or comment about them or their content and tag them in it. This valuable post or comment might even be a question that you can have for them. But it isn't just a good work or a thank you for sharing. It's something that goes a little bit deeper than that. Maybe you attend their webinar, a live stream like a LinkedIn Live or a YouTube live stream, or maybe an in-person talk at a conference or a meeting. Take notes during that session, whether it's a webinar, a live stream, or a live in-person session, and then write a post sharing your takeaways. Then tag the host or the speaker. When you do this on a platform like LinkedIn, it will also notify their network that they've been tagged. It's a great way not only to engage the host or the speaker, but to engage your network and their network. You could compliment them on a career change or an exciting milestone. Now, LinkedIn does offer easy ways to do this, like commenting on someone's work anniversary or a new job. But again, it's more than just saying congratulations. It's actually writing something that provides value and shows that you're genuinely interested in what's going on with them. Common interests is also a great way to make that deeper connection with people in your network who you're trying to at least build a network with, or maybe maintain and nurture this network. So my next tip is to share a recommendation around something that's a common interest. Maybe this is a recommendation for a good food spot if you know the person that you're talking with is in the same geographical area as you. Maybe it's a recommendation for an inspirational TED Talk or YouTube video or TV show that you really enjoy. But make a recommendation for a shared or common interest. Kind of along those same lines, it's also okay to be vulnerable and authentic. So maybe you made a mistake, or you encountered a learning opportunity, or you experienced a trying time, and their advice or something that they did was inspiring to you, or maybe they experienced something similar and there is common ground that you have with them regarding these experiences. Make that connection. You can do this in a comment, you can do this in a post, you can do this in an email, or even in an in-person comment. Now, networking wouldn't be networking if you couldn't use your network to make beneficial connections or introductions for others. As you begin to build your network, you will probably find that you know someone who can help someone else, and vice versa. So make those mutually beneficial introductions and connections for them. You will be seen as that person who helped both parties gain that new beneficial connection. And finally, rather than doing a 30-minute informational interview where you're asking this person a lot of questions about how they got to where they are or advice that they might have, maybe you can interview them instead for a blog post or a podcast. People would much rather know that the advice that they are sharing are going to help more than just one person. So if you have the ability to write a blog post or a LinkedIn post, or you have a podcast, ask this person if they might be interested in being interviewed for that. When it's time, you can post that blog post or that podcast episode, tag them in your social media channels. Make posts where you're tagging them ahead of time, letting people know what's coming and how to be excited about it. Engage with them in various ways. So again, all of these options are easy and require no experience. It can feel scary to get started with this, but it's really not as difficult as you would think. Give it a shot, try it out, see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Trying something and having it not work out the way you were expecting is better than not trying at all. Networking can be a really valuable way to grow in your career, to gain access to opportunities that you might not otherwise have access to. So take some time and begin building and nurturing your network today. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're looking for one-on-one specialized career coaching around your job search, around your interview preparation, etc., please reach out to me today. I offer interview strategy sessions, mock interviews, and general career coaching to help you figure out what maybe your next best step should be. So if you're interested in this one-on-one personalized career coaching or interview strategy sessions, please contact me today. I've linked to my email and my website in the description box below, and I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, or experiences that you have where you've been able to provide value to someone that's more than just saying, "Great video, thank you, congratulations," please put your comments in the comments box below. I love receiving comments and I will do my best to get back to each of you individually, but if I'm not able to, just know that your comments and your experience that you share will likely help someone else who's going through something similar. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.